do you think Spurs have been slow off the blocks, Bobby? Not just in the first half in this game, but in the second half as well, conceding within 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know this is a strange thing to say, but I always like my captains to be a dominant centre midfield player or a dominant centre half. I know Harry Kane is a fantastic player. Is he that guy that's going to scream and shout at you and make sure everything's organised? I don't think so. No, for me, I want that centre half to be so
Lloris.
Dominant.
It's Lloris who's the skipper for Spurs.
Lloris. Yeah, sorry, but that's what I don't even like goalkeepers as captains, to be honest. I want a centre half or a centre midfielder, someone who's in the heart of that game, dominating, shouting, screaming. And to be honest, I don't think Lloris is what I would call a typical screaming, shouting captain. I have my vision of a captain, and it's not. I don't think Spurs have one, to be honest. I don't think they have an out
vocal
leader. Not the sort of person that I'm thinking of, anyway.
Yeah, I would suggest that probably the best suited to that at the moment at Spurs is Hojbjerg, because of the way he plays. A lot of the game goes through him, and I agree with Bobby. Basically, if you're a goalkeeper, at times, even when you've pushed right up outside your penalty area when your team's on the attack, you can be 60 yards from the action. And likewise, going the other way, if you're the centre forward, you can be 50, 60 yards from the action when your team are defending at times. So, if you have your captain in a central position, or a more central position, I mean right to left and front to back, so we are talking centre half or centre midfield player, you are more in contact with more players more of the time. It's a personal preference for me as well. Having said that, some coaches would say, and I remember sitting down talking with Terry Venables about when he was in charge of England, he wanted a squad of leaders. And leaders aren't just vocal people. Leaders are people who are brave enough to get on the ball when it's going against you. Leaders are people who are prepared to have a quiet word with one person because that's what works with them, and a rollicking with another person. A leader is somebody who is totally committed and doesn't shirk a challenge, for example. So there are different types of leader, but I'm with Bobby. For me, my named captain, I like him to be central in every way.
Are you saying that? Do you see many leaders in that Spurs side? The ones that we're thinking of?
No, not really. But what I would say, Bobby, and you're a lot more recent than me. I'm 20 years older than you, but the game has changed, hasn't it? There are now players that you're almost frightened. Well, could you imagine a leader from my day, for example, a Brian Horton at Brighton, who went on and managed over 1,000 games, a Stevie Perriman from Spurs in my... the way they would dig people out at times, I think you might get the odd modern day player walk off the pitch because he wouldn't find it acceptable or wouldn't take it.
Yeah, I think... I'd like to see that. I like that in the change room myself, but maybe that's just the English mentality, the way that we've sort of been brought up with how it happens. But yeah, I know there are a few too many divas and a few too many people that can't take criticism. But for me, I like my captains, my leaders, and anybody to, if they've got a problem with me, to let me know in no uncertain circumstances,
Just to play the devil's advocate here, I will say during Gary's time, Dino Zoft, captain Italy to the World Cup, triumphant at the age of 40, Iker Casillas for Spain, and Hugo Lloris in the most recent edition. He was captain of France when they lifted the illustrious trophy. So there's always that side of it. Yeah,
but it also depends what the makeup of the rest of your team is.
Of course. I'm just saying, in terms of positions, when it comes to goalkeepers, they can actually have a role as a captain. But when I say the word captain, who's the first person that comes to your mind, Bobby?
John Terry.
John Terry?
John Terry as a captain, yeah, in terms of, what I expect and what I visualise as a captain. Somebody who's vocal, somebody that also leads on the pitch, can never put a foot wrong, and always give everything on the pitch.
Gary, same question to you.
Yeah, well, the person has to be reliable, consistent, determined, focused, have all the qualities that mean that you are a consistent contributor to your side. And I just named two players who I played under as captains, Brian Horton, which a lot of people won't know the name now, particularly from Brighton days, Steve Perryman at Spurs, of course, and anybody in Malaysia who's a Spurs fan knows of Steve Perryman, Mr. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, for sure. And I would have to agree with what Bobby's just said as far as a leader is concerned. From a more modern day game, yeah, John Terry ticks all those boxes for sure. A winner.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to go back to the London Stadium once again. Let's hear